My car!
Everybody! Everybody, make some noise for D-Trix to say thank you.
Alright, thanks. Thank you, Brandon. Nobody. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. Listen to me rant for the next hour. Woo! We're not going to learn any dancing, so I hope you're okay with that. So here it is. Certain concepts in dance that I've learned, that I see, that I actually could relate to my real life. There's this thing called the rule of three. Now, who freestyles in here? Okay? Is there someone that you see and you're like, they're absolutely amazing? There's people in here, you can watch Brandon, you can watch pretty much anybody in Thugs, you can watch these people and you're like, wow, that's absolutely amazing. But there's a reason for it. And the first word I really want you guys to think about is the word why. Okay? Because once you understand the word why, I think it'll help you in your dance life, your dance career, and more importantly, your entire life. And this is something that I'm still trying to figure out myself. Majority of my days consist of making YouTube videos, but I actually as I get older, I tend to think a lot more than I used to. But the word why, to me, is so extremely important because there's a reason why Brandon is amazing at freestyling. There's a reason why all Thugs are amazing at freestyling. There's a reason why this is that way. There's a reason why you laugh. If you have a favorite movie, whatever that may be, I've seen Toy Story 3 a bunch of times, and that makes me laugh all the time. I laugh, but I don't really know why I'm laughing, and that's what I want you guys to really concentrate today on. Is that funny to you? I'm just kidding. You can laugh. You paid. That's fine. But and I think this is something that even Brandon yourself and any type of person growing up, you really need to think about this reason why. If you break down the rule of three, all it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then you hit doom doom, and you hit that bass. Now there's a reason why that stood out to me, and I started breaking it down. Because by doing the groove, right, the person watching is listening to that part of the music, the groove part of the music. So on the third one, our minds as people automatically think that that's going to happen again on the fourth try. But you don't. You trick out the person watching you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, boom, boom. And that's why we get so excited. He did nothing. All Twitch did was change up how he was doing the groove. Whether he did it intentionally or unintentionally, I don't really know. But for me, that made me think okay, I'm going to take that concept, the rule of three concept, and add it to something else. So it can go into grooves, it can go into a different groove. 1, 2, 3, 4, boom, boom, whatever the case may be. You just have to concentrate on the rule of three. Once they see it, cool. Twice, they're used to it. The third time, now you can fake out the mic. It's just the way. Another thing, the Will Ferrell concept. Does anybody know who Will Ferrell is?
Oh, yeah.
He has this thing, and it's really, really cool. So he'll talk for a little bit, and then he'll just, just talk and be pleasant, and then all of a sudden he'll be like, what the heck is wrong? And there's something a little bit goofy about that, right? Now, with the Will Ferrell concept of being really, really quiet, and all of a sudden just losing it, all of a sudden there's something to that. Why is it that way? Let me tell you. Majority of all these crews do it, and I don't even know if they know why. But it's that very, picture the very beginning of something you're watching. And it's literally freestyle dancers do this all the time. You come out and you take your time. You take your time. The music's riding, and right on that one, boom, and you start hitting. And there's something with that concept that comes to life. And it's you can win out there, boom, 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 and hitting constantly, but you ruined that part of the moment. It's getting into it, sitting in the pocket, and just walking around, letting the beat ride. And at the right moment, then giving that initial, over-the-top blast of that hard-hitting thing. That one hard hit means more than all those other hits you could have did before it. Does that kind of make sense? The Will Ferrell concept is what I call it. Freestylers, let me know, do you guys ever feel like your freestyle gets stagnant? Yeah. You stay in the same spot, right? You don't really know why, you just stay in the same spot. We all go through it, and I do it all the time, still been in the same spot for years to come. But I started thinking about, okay, Kevin Brewer then told me, he said, every night I try and think of a picture. I try and think of a story. So it changes not just what I'm doing, but it changes my character, and then it's going to make you react differently. So I started thinking about that, and I was like, okay, so now you're just, instead of like, you've heard this song a bajillion times, Kevin Brewer has freestyled this song for over 10 years. That can get really, really boring. But what keeps him excited is, before he goes on, then he picks a story. He sees a picture, and then he goes and paints it. And it's a weird concept, but I feel like it's something that you find later in your dance career. Because you got to, in order to freestyle, you have to learn foundation, tricks, and all these other things to catch up. But you're going to get to a point where you literally feel stagnant. You don't know what to do, right? If you have a dance crew and you don't even have a picture to paint, you're lost. If you have a dance career and you don't even know what you want out of that dance career, I'm not going to lie, you're lost. You're going to get stagnant. You're going to keep doing the same thing. If you don't know what you're going to do in your life with dance, if you don't really understand what it's meant for, I guarantee you your day will consist of waking up, doing whatever you usually do, going to rehearsal in the same studio, and it's going to be years and years and years, and you're going to be sitting in the same studio. If you can't picture it, then you're literally just painting blind. It makes no sense. Next thing, in your freestyle or in your dancing, you can kind of tell. When you get to a certain point in your freestyle, and you've been doing it for many years, you can look at somebody and already come to like some type of conclusion of how they are as a dancer. So for me, I had a problem of always being clean. You don't deserve anything that you don't work for. You can't just go out and do a head spin and fall and say, wow, I have head spins now. That's just the way it is. No, you're cutting corners. You can't do that. If you're not a clean dancer, don't wonder why am I not getting chosen to be in the front? Why am I not getting chosen to be on So You Think You Can Dance? You can't expect that. You have to literally think about what you want, and then you have to go for it full out, because those are the people that are on top. But if you don't ever literally just put yourself out there, you're going to, like, I know for a fact, I'm still working for that. I do not want to be in my 60s, 70s, 50s, if I'm lucky, thinking, man, why didn't I even give it a try? Why was I so lazy? Why? It's such an interesting word. I can't explain how much. Success. What is success? Is it a paycheck? No, it's not. It's never a paycheck. The most richest people I know, especially executive producers of all these TV shows and all these movies, are not happy. Like, I feel like success, you should be happy at some point. Money does not matter what success is. Success is literally, to me, in my opinion, is seeing something and going and getting it. Whatever that is. There's this move in dance that I recently heard like over the last year, and it's called a trigger. A trigger in dance is basically connecting a move and giving it a reason. Now, everything I have had so far in my life has been triggered by the next thing. I did the Sure West commercial, which maybe 9 people saw in 2007. That was my first thing. Then I was like, oh cool, now I dance for the Sacramento Kings. And this introduced me to a lot of dancers. A lot of like, I didn't really understand the choreography dancer things, but I had met some dancers from Step 1 there, and they told me about all this other stuff and all that stuff, whatever the case may be. And that kind of got me like thinking about the dance community and getting into that. And that went into that, and that triggered this. Then I was like, oh, So You Think You Can Dance is coming around. I think I'm actually almost ready for this. So I learned from those people in the choreography scene to get to that audition. That audition got me through to Vegas week and put me on the show. On that show, I had met Hawk and Ryan from all these other different types of dance backgrounds that were also on So You Can Dance. We became best friends. I didn't win So You Can Dance, but I became best friends with these guys. The producer of So You Can Dance said, hey, I'm coming out with a television show called America's Best Dance Crew. I would love for you to put on a group if you guys have something. Me and Hawk were like, awesome, let's put together a group. We trained, and we got America's Best Dance Crew. From there, we were lucky enough to win this show. Actually, I'm not going to lie. We deserved to win that show, so we won. And then from there, I got to know the producers. Producers then called me 2 years later, to say, we want you to be the judge of America's Best Dance Crew. Now let's go back a little bit. During this time, meeting all these other Asian Americans and all these other dancers, I met Ryan Higa. Ryan Higa, I would have never met if I didn't do all this stuff. That was a trigger. Then he said, you need to do YouTube. And I was like, okay, whatever. I like it. It's all right. That got me onto ABDC because they said, oh, you have a YouTube following. You have this following. Then I ended up falling in love with YouTube, so I started doing this. Trigger after trigger after trigger after trigger after trigger. And it was just, I was at the right place at the right time. And it literally goes back to dancing. A reason for your movement. If you don't have a reason, then what are you really trying to do? You're just kind of moving. But I'm asking you to think about what your friends are doing for yourself. Are they holding you back? Are they teaching you something? Are they going to let you go? Are they going to be cool with letting you go? And going to do the next big thing, whatever that case may be. Or your parents telling you, no, you shouldn't dance. I don't support it. Something that really bothers me about the dance community is people that deserve something they think they deserve. Remember, but if you're doing it for the being of trying to get some type of credit, you're literally doing it for all the wrong reasons. If you're not doing it to contribute and want to contribute and evolve some type of dance movement, and that's why you're doing it, to evolve yourself, to really test it, you're wasting your freaking time. Don't expect someone to give you something off of what you've done. You should just be happy that you're doing it. And if you can change the game, you can. And I'm not lying when I say this. I'm speaking off experience because I felt I deserve something, or I like it when fans come up to me, or I like this. Realistically, in 20 years, no one's going to remember anything. Why? Why were you entertained by that? And use it for yourself. I promise you, not just in dance, but you will find yourself extremely successful in whatever you want to do. You just have to have the picture, and you have to have the utilities to paint it. And you have to really see it, and you have to really understand it, and really give up everything to get that picture done as fast as you can. Because you're not the only dancer in here. You're not the only dancer in this world that wants the same exact things. What are you doing differently to deserve that? To say, yes, I ultimately deserve that. Yes, this is what makes me successful. If you understand how these people got here, how Mark Zuckerberg invented Facebook, you guys probably have no idea who that is, but how these people created these certain things and use it in your own dance life, in your own life, you are going to paint that picture faster than anything else. The word why. Think about it. I'm done. Peace.
Everybody say thank you to D-Trix.
Thank you.
All right. Hit me up.
Alright, so this last class is going to be really fun. Are you bouncing around?
Yeah, I gotta go right.
Right.
I gotta go figure out why.